Hi, Privyet. It's Diane, and today I'd like to tell you the story of the prodigal son. It's found in Luke chapter 15, and it begins with verse 11. Now, in my interpretation today, I'm going to call it the lost daughter, because I have daughters, and I minister to women and children, but a lot to women and young girls. So I'd like to put this in the context of the lost daughter. Once there was a woman who had two beautiful daughters, and she had worked so hard to take care of them and to provide for them. One day, the one daughter, the youngest of the two, came to her and said, "Hey, Mom, guess what? I'm kind of bored with this place. This is not really my thing, and I'd like to leave. So if you don't mind, if you would give me my inheritance now, I'll take it and I'll be out of here. Because, see, I met this really cool boy, and me and Johnny, we're going to go to Vegas. And we're going to have a big time. We're going to maybe do some partying. We might go on over to LA, see if maybe we can get an agent, make a movie. But we want to live the high life and leave this podunk town and this work behind, okay?" Well, the mom, being a good, loving mom as she was, she looked at her daughters and she said, "I'll go ahead and divide it up right now and give you your inheritance. And you'll both know what you're going to get, and I'll give it to you." So she gives the daughter her inheritance, and man, she wastes no time. And she gets herself a new car, and she loads up all her new shoes and purses, and Johnny, the new boyfriend, and she takes off and she heads for Las Vegas. Well, when she's out there in Las Vegas, she just has a big time. Her and Johnny, they're rolling high on the hog. Now, she's got beautiful clothes, designer purses, shoes, like I said, great makeup, fabulous hair. Life is fabulous. She is in a party mode every night. There is something happening. Somebody wants her to be there with them. So, this goes on for several months until the money runs out. It didn't take her long to run through her inheritance. Well, Johnny disappeared. The friends all disappeared. It's funny how when you don't have the money for them to party anymore, your friends just seem to go away. Well, they all went away, and they left her with some pretty bad bills. They were pretty extravagant, and there were a lot of debt collectors out looking for her. So she had to get a job, but she had quit school. She didn't have a college degree. She didn't have any skills. All she had was some money. Well, now she doesn't have a way to make a living, and she's got debts, and people are after her, and there are people threatening her. So she takes a job as a waitress. But that didn't pay very much money either. And she had a whole lot of debts. And she had this fabulous apartment. Well, she lost her apartment. She lost her car. She lost everything she had. And she found herself working in a gentleman's club as a cocktail waitress. And that wasn't enough. So the manager offered her to move her up and give her more money if she would be a stripper for him, and take off her clothes. Well, being a good Southern girl, a Southern Baptist that she was raised, even though she had left all that behind, this didn't really settle well within her soul, but she did it anyway because money and greed will make you do stupid things. Well, she was there, and she was working, and she was just in this awful place. And if the preacher saw her, her mama would be so embarrassed. Her family would be so embarrassed. She had fallen to the very bottom of the barrel. And one day she looked up, and it says in this parable, on verse 17, "And he came to himself." So I'm going to tell you that in one day she came to herself. She came to herself and she said, "What in the heck, girl, are you doing? You need to get out of here. These people are going to kill you. Look at you. You've lost some teeth. You're skinny. You're starving. Now, for goodness sake, that lady who cleaned your mama's house is treated better than what you're being treated. That people who dig the ditches around the farm for the animals is better treated than what you are. You need to just get up. And you know what? You'd be lucky if your mama give you a job milking them cows." So she thought, "I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go home. And I'm going to ask my mama to forgive me and tell her I'm sorry. And I'm going to beg her to please just let me have a job milking those cows. I won't I won't complain. I'll get out there and I'll milk them at 4:30 in the morning. I'll be there at 6. I don't care. Just let me live there. Let me be out of this place and this den of iniquity that I have found myself in. So she got herself a bus ticket and she managed to get back home. And her mama's friend saw her getting off the bus. And she said, "Oh my God, that's her daughter." She got on cell phone. She goes, "Hey, I think I just saw your girl getting off the bus." And she's like, "What? Not my girl. My girl's gone." And her friend said, "No, honey, I saw her. I just saw her down at the Greyhound bus station. She's at the bus. You need to go get her from the bus station." Oh, that mama got in her car and she went to town, and then she was running through the bus station, because lo and behold, there was her girl standing there. She had a little garbage bag with what little bit of clothes she had in it. And her mama ran up and just grabbed her and hugged her and was loving on her so big. And oh, she was so happy to see her. And she was so glad that her baby was home that she took her coat off and she wrapped her up in her coat. And then she took her shoes and she put her shoes on her, because her girl didn't even have on any shoes and it was cold. So the mama gives her her coat and her shoes, and she gets her in the car and she goes home, and she's so excited. She's on that, man, she is on the phone calling everybody, "My girl's home, my girl's home, my girl's home. Come to the house, come to the house. My girl is home. Oh my gosh, come to the house and bring a covered dish." Well, by the time she got home, the sister had heard that her sister had come back and that she was on her way to the house, and that the mama was coming, and that the neighbors were coming, and all the kin folk had already found out, and they were coming. They were going to have a party and bring in covered dish, and they were going to have music and everything. His sister was so mad. So mad. So the mama gets home with the daughter, and she gets her out, and she said, "Now, honey, you just go on in there. You take your good bath, and your clothes are still in the dresser, because I just prayed one day you'd come home. And if you can't wear them clothes, and you let me know, I'll give you some of mine. I'll get some of your sisters, whatever you need. You just take care of it, baby." And so she goes in the kitchen. She's fixing herself a glass of iced tea, and her other daughter comes in, and she goes, "Mama, I heard that she's back and you're going to give her a party. What is wrong with you, Mama? Don't you know? Don't you know what she has done? Don't you know where she was?" And her mama says, "Yes, I do know where she was. I know where she was. And you know what? I know what she did. And I don't care. She's my daughter and I love her. And you should be glad that your sister is home. Well, you need to check your attitude, young woman." And that daughter was so mad. She goes, "Mama, I've been here with you all this time, and I've worked, and I never left, never did nothing. And now you're going to have a big old party for her. You never had no party for me. You never had a party for me and my friends." Ooh, Mama looked at her and said, "Honey, you need to check that attitude, girlfriend, because you've been here with me this whole time, and I love you, and I appreciate you. And all you ever had to do was say, 'Mama, would you have me a party? Mama, I'd like to have some friends over. Would you do something special for me?' And you know what? I would have, but you didn't ask me. But now your sister, I thought she was dead. I thought she was never coming back. And she's alive. She's mine. She's here. And I'm going to have a party. Because I love her. Just like I love you." And that is the parable of the prodigal son. Only it's the prodigal daughter. Most of our lives, we have all been one or the other. We've either been the daughter who ran off or the daughter that did not. And sometimes we've been both. God is saying to us, you may have left. You may have left me, and you might have wasted your life on crazy other pursuits. You may feel like you are at the bottom of the barrel and you're never going to be able to get back up, that God has surely forsaken you, that God could not possibly forgive you. But Jesus is saying here, the daughter came home and she told her mama she was sorry. She told her she had been wrong. Jesus is waiting for you to come to him and just say, "I'm sorry. I've done wrong. Forgive me." Love me, Jesus, and take me back into your family, where I belong, because you have been waiting for me. Now run into the arms of Jesus. He's standing there with them open wide, and he wants you. There is nothing that you have ever done, whether you have been a stripper or you've been a saint. Jesus loves you exactly the same. And whether you're a stripper or a saint, everybody is equal at the feet of Jesus. And nobody is getting into heaven without Jesus. And just like he says in a couple of parables before that, he rejoices more over the ones who are lost, but yet have been found. If you have wandered and you have gone astray, he's waiting. He's just waiting for you to come home. He'll give you his coat. He'll put his shoes on you. He'll give you the beautiful ring. He will bring you in and dust you off and forgive you and make you his through his shed blood, where he will give you authority over the evil one, and that you will enjoy the first fruits of his land. I love you. Jesus loves you even more. Don't wait. This world we live in today is unknown. It's crazy, y'all. Be smart. Smart, but gentle and kind. And I love you all. God bless you. Have a fabulous day. And Jesus loves you even more than I do. Run to the one who loves you. Run to Jesus.